Welcome to V-Roll. Today is Sunday, where we look at our Sunday slip, things that are slipping in price between product, sealed product, and the single cards in the Pokemon landscape. For now, let's go down to the lowest price of free. I'm going to get you hooked up with the 151 poster collection going out to one lucky winner. All you got to do is like, comment, and subscribe. Be a part of the channel and be a part of Team V here. V-Roll permanently. Also doing 2 3-pack blisters of Surging Sparks and 5 Pokemon mystery card lots. We have a lot to get into here. Before we totally dive into that, make sure you go over to this video here. That's where you want to enter. You leave an additional comment there, then I know you are entered to win those prizes. Our goal is 4,000 subscribers. We reach that, we do the giveaway. Sorry, I'm still getting over being a little bit sick and under the weather, but it's not going to stop me from getting videos out to you. So let's dive in. Surging Sparks, the talk of the town, the toast of the town, really. It's been out for 2 days, folks. Friday, Saturday, and here we are Sunday to start the third whole day of Surging Sparks. But even still, we have some promising news here. This says 160. That's not entirely true. It's a little bit higher than that, I think. Oh, no, 160 there. Good, okay. It was up a little bit, but we do see this here. Look at that. Look at that. Just a tiny, tiny bit of dipping down because it was all the way up to 163. I know it's $3 difference. What's the difference there? 160, 160, 160. It's solidly at 160, which is under MSRP technically. And if you have enough listings, many pages of them, lots of them, wow. You have enough listings, people are going to have to bring the price down when the sales start dropping. So the price started shifting down. Everybody bought it and got crazy there at 155-ish. 311 of them sold. Then the price goes up a little bit. Couldn't even get 1/3 of that at 95. So we're going to see the market decide and pull this price down a little bit. If it's available, it's going to bring it down just slightly. I think it'll be pretty stable up there. This is a pretty popular set. People are really excited about it, but it's promising news in the very early days of this set upon release here. The Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box had some crazy prices building on these pre-sales. Absolutely nuts. 157. Wow. 158. Ridiculous. Did we get 161? Wow. And now we're sitting comfortable at about 100. A lot of people buying in at $100, 54 of them there, 26 falling there. So it's kind of leveling off at 100. This is helpful if you weren't able to get it because it popped back up and sold out real quick. But if you weren't able to get it, this is helpful. It's not that far from MSRP. And that promo inside, that stamped promo, seems to be fetching a pretty penny right now. So we'll see. It's very early. We're looking way too early, but these are promising signs. The trend is following the norm-ish. All right, we have Latias EX. The norm would be the FOMO price up here, and then it's tanking quickly, and then it'll level off to what makes sense. So these prices are really irrelevant to look at on these single cards, but just the trend is what we're more interested in. And that is following over here. Pokemon's latest set in Surging Sparks is a good one for sure. There's a lot of cool stuff here, a lot of great artworks. Hydreion is also looking good here. I haven't seen it in person. I've heard this looks phenomenal if you're holding it. A lot of good color, a lot of good texture to it, and the rainbow border certainly helps. But we see that same trend from the FOMO price coming down over here. My low tick, if you get that Phoebus, I don't know, whatever you want to say. I feel like people have tried to correct me in the past, and I didn't even take note of it. Sorry. You have this same trend, that steep decline right in the beginning. Right in the beginning. So we'll see where this goes here. Lisa's appeal. Here we go. Another special illustration rare following that trend of falling apart. Falling apart at $75 is still not falling apart. I mean, that's an expensive card. But we're seeing these trends moving that direction. Another one. I thought this would be more popular. I thought this would be higher on the list as far as price point. Alolan Executor. Coming in, same kind of thing. Getting sub 65 here at 63, 65. Again, the prices don't matter. They just don't make sense to be looking at it in that way. The only thing you might notice on this list is Pikachu did not make the cut because those prices are not going down on any of the Pikachu artworks. And that's what we call the Pikachu tax. I've been saying that in a lot of comments leading up to this set, that yes, people are going to be paying a premium because it is Pikachu. I don't know if we'll see it cool down or if those specific cards are going to follow the ways of Twilight Masquerade Greninja and just go from FOMO crazy prices to insane, never saw this coming prices. But there was a 50-50 shot that it would happen. So I just thought with it starting in the $300 to $500 range, it wouldn't really stick around there for too long. But it's sticking around and people are paying it. I don't know what's wrong with people, or I don't know what's right with them. If you're able to afford that, come teach me your ways, because seriously, that is awesome for you. And I'd love to be one of those people who could do that. Even still, I don't think I would, because that would be ridiculous. Why not open 5 booster boxes and take a shot at it and complete a good chunk of the set outside of that? I don't know. But have the fun, at least, if you got that kind of money. The Terrapogos, here we go. We got the new shiny thing to look at, the new stuff, the new set in Surging Sparks. And Pokemon just gets left behind over here, where Stellar Crown just seems to be falling, and that seems to be going across the board here on the special illustration rares. This one's kind of bouncing around, finding its level, so I think the steep decline happened, and now we're in a correction, a little recovery correction. So I think we're in that range where it's going to be sitting in the $35 range. That's probably a reasonable price on this one that you'd be getting at $35. So getting close to 60 seems a little too much there. Lacey, same kind of deal here, getting in that $30 range, coming down and probably still declining based on that trend. The Greninja EX, now that we have our attention focus shifted over to Surging Sparks and beyond that with Prismatic Evolutions, are we going to see a decline in Greninja? Well, we see a little bit here. It was getting up to 320. It's coming back down to that under 300, and now it's climbing back up. Some people just don't want to let it go, and the sales are getting a little bit fewer and far between here as this number is increasing, as the price is going back up because they were trying to buy on the bottom there. So you'll see that graph usually follow the trend where the graph goes up when the price goes down and vice versa. The graph is going down when the price is starting to go up, or it's slowing down as it's going up. Fewer people pulling the trigger on it as they're watching. So another one to keep an eye on, that maybe we can start working our way backward on that Twilight Masquerade Premium, because there's so much more on the horizon. And that's what was throwing me off. I was like, there's so much more to come with Surging Sparks. And then next year, 2025, the Rocket set, the Eevee set, the Gym Hero type set. I didn't know why Greninja was going so crazy, but maybe I'm just more patient than some of the people out there, and maybe I'm just ignorant. Maybe I'm ignorant and I should have been a part of it. I don't know. It doesn't matter really at this point, but we are seeing the booster box coming back down a little bit. That's a little comforting there, getting under that MSRP price there. Carmine, similar story, coming down here. Coming down quite a bit there. And moving in that direction still. 151. We know about some reprints. We know about some restocks. We know about a new Blooming Waters collection coming in February. We are hopeful for the holiday season that we'll see some stuff on shelves. And beyond that, we have other things to keep focused on and be drawn to, where we might want to allocate our collection dollars. So naturally, and this was expected, I think, from a lot of people, the price would be coming down. This was at like 230 or something, maybe not even that high, but it was up there. It was over 200. And the 151 Pokemon Center version, it's got that stamped promo in there. Where were we at? Yeah, almost 230, 227 up there. And now we're coming back down to the 220 range. So it's a slight trend down. I did a month there. Let's see this. It looks like a pretty quick climb up, and now it's declining. Not as quickly, but definitely heading that way. So, and you stretch it only to the most recent month, the build slowed down, and then you see that decrease increasing in speed, how it gets there. So that's promising for those of you who are wanting to pick this up. I think it's hard to justify that kind of price tag on something like this, but if you're going to do it, please don't open it. Leave it as a sealed collection piece for the long haul. This is the marathon investor, where you're going to hold it for 5 years, 10 years, something like that. So that way this $200 box becomes $500, in that long period of time. It becomes an investment piece. It's not scalping. People are like, well, aren't investors just scalpers anyways? No, investors hold for the long term. Scalpers try to make a quick buck and play off of the market being FOMO or limited availability, or people are going for it right now, so they're going to capitalize on that rather than holding it for long term, so it has its true value in the future. And then when you release it back into the market, you're able to gain on your investment and your time and your effort of putting that in, the money, the storage, all of that, and then working through the sale process. And then on the flip side of that, the buyer typically is either going to do for a long-term collection on their own, or an included piece that they were missing to their puzzle to have their own collection just for the holding of it permanently. The really intense people will be opening it up, whether they are some big YouTuber or something. They're just going for some, what would at that time be vintage stuff to kind of crack into it and give a good show. Or, just the casual collector that has a better financial state that can get away with doing that. There's a lot more of a selective market on the other side of that. So that's what's the difference between an investor and a scalper. Scalpers are quick buck right now. Investors are long-term hold, and they're going to let the value grow, even if it is a little bit slow in the long run. But they'll let it grow. The mini tin display coming crashing down almost here, 190, and now we're down to 171. Why? Because so many of those mini tins are hitting the market in the group of 10. No display, no display. I didn't actually scroll down here. That was just my guess, and here it is. You have an open display that people had from their own stuff, so it's not sealed, but they were able to collect the 10 out of those Costco boxes and be able to piecemeal it and put together a display piece, all right? Or close to it, having the 10 loose ones, all the different full arts. So that's bringing the price down quite a bit to get the tins, but if you go into the actually truly sealed mini tin box, it's going to be higher for sure. But you know, it's interesting to see how something hits Costco, everybody goes nuts. I couldn't get it. I missed out on that opportunity. Okay, life goes on. But then you see the price start cooling off for others who might otherwise want a chance. There's a chance. I don't think it's a good one, but it's there. The singles, we're not unreasonably assessing the market that, you know, when this was coming up to 230 or something, it was like, I don't think you should buy. I think you should be patient. I think you should wait. We have the holidays to think about. We have that Blooming Waters collection to come up with. I hope that one is annoyingly available. And even for the people who want to go crazy with it, I just hope it's so abundantly available that scalpers go, there's no point. I get it, and I can't turn it and burn it because it's on the store shelves the next week too. I can't do anything because it's on Pokemon Center still. I can't do anything because it's easy to find at, you know, whatever. I would love for scalpers to just get a little taste of not being successful in this market on something like this, especially 151 related. I'd say it's one of the Pokemon's better sets in recent years, and the new Eevee set, next year's Rocket set, they're going to start coming close, in my opinion, to contend with this. But it is coming down here. We had, what did that say, 217? Okay. I know I saw it higher elsewhere because, like, the price range for items sold, the range was kind of all over the place from near mint down to I don't know if it's as far as damage, but lightly played or whatever the conditions would be in those 70 items sold. But we see it coming down. See it coming down quite a bit here into the 185 range. So it's getting a little bit more reasonable. I mean, you compare this to the new Pikachu, you compare this to the Greninja, this is far more reasonable. If you're on the fence of which kind of SIR to pick up, and you're wanting some of these bigger ones that are going to be the big top chases of Scarlet and Violet era, this is worth considering. Keeping an eye on it. See if you can either get a hold of some packs to open it up or buy a lot of cards that would come with it. A lot, meaning not a lot, but a lot of a group of cards, a small group of cards. Maybe it's 20 cards and this is part of it because you're piecemealing a set or something from one seller on eBay. I don't know. There's so many things you can do and how you can go about it. Blastoise coming down. We were seeing this almost $75 or something. Yeah, 78. Eesh. And now we're down to 67. That's good. That's what we want to see. I think the $50 range is reasonable for this one, for it to live in the $50 range. Zapdos, similar story. This one took a while to start climbing up. It was sitting around 40 and now it got up to 52 and now we're back down to 50 again. So this one is good in that price range. I think it still has some room to come down. We'll have to see there. That's the majority of what I have here, but I just wanted to kind of brief conversation. Surging Sparks is super popular. I found it in Target, readily available. They had all the different, sleeved blisters and 3-pack blisters, ETBs. They had everything there. And I wasn't really hunting for it. I just stopped by, check it out, and there they were. But at that MSRP price, I was like, no thanks. Like, still not for me. I got my pre-orders. They're coming in. But these sold out pretty quickly, the 3-pack blisters. Prismatic Evolutions, yeah, we saw that. But let's talk about Prismatic Evolutions ETB. We got a little insight from the Surging Sparks ETB. It did release on the release day. It shot up online. I posted about it, and it sold out super quickly. If you have any hope on this one, mark your calendars for the release day. I believe it's January 17. If it's not 100% locked in yet, we'll know soon. I'm sure we'll know soon, but you'll mark your calendars and you'll have to look for when it pops online to see if you can get a hold of it. I'm hopeful, to be honest, that anybody who was able to order before, if they reach the limit, which is 2, if they reach that limit, then they would be turned away when it comes online to try to order again. Nope, our system shows you've already ordered this, so the end. That would be very good for the hobby. That'd be very good for the community, that there's other people who get a chance at it. But like I said, that ETB from Surging Sparks, Pokemon's latest set, it is gone. And that's why we're seeing it listed for about $100 right now. So $40 over MSRP to get it. I don't know. I don't think it's going to get cheaper. I don't think it'll get any cheaper. But so the booster bundles, those sold out. That was almost a shock because these popped up and they were available for the entire day. They were still available yesterday on Saturday for a bit, and then they kind of fell apart. Looking at the sleeve packs here, you can pick those up. You're paying full MSRP. The booster box, you're a tad over what the secondary market is saying. So if you can find it better than this, fine. If you can't, it does exist. You can get it again. And it's not sold out yet, so maybe people are getting their orders and enjoying it a little bit, and they're not going nuts, or they're seeing that some people have opened 4 cases of booster boxes. There are 6 boxes per case, and they've opened 4 full cases to not even see a Pikachu. So pull rates are just horrible, absolutely horrible on this set. So I was super lucky to get what I got out of my 1 ETB so far. I'll probably open up a little bit more, but I'm not going to go deep into this for pulls because I don't have the luxury of having such terrible pull rates on a set. I really don't. I'm got my money allocated for the investment pieces, and I'm holding those, and they shouldn't be opened. So got to stick true to that and do what I do for my own journey. I hope you do what you do for your journey, but in that, consider joining me along for the ride and maybe learning something. Hopefully I bring something to you. I want to bring you some cards for your support. Just like, comment, and subscribe. I'm giving away some prizes once we reach 4,000 subscribers. The Pokemon 151 poster collection going out to 1 lucky winner, 2 3-pack blisters from Surging Sparks, and 5 Pokemon mystery card lots going out to 8 winners overall. Be a part of the channel, and don't forget to hit the bell because I post 7 days a week. And with that, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.